My name is Paul Luna, and you're tuned into F&B Lunacy. I am here today with Chef Matt Meacham. Chef,
Hello.
hello. Talk to us about where you are working, what is the cuisine, and where are you located?
Okay, so I'm currently the sous chef at FIA restaurant in Buckhead inside the Burgess Hotel. We have been open since late 2019. We specialize in a lot of different world fare, primarily Mediterranean. Chef Daniel has a deep classical and French background. Myself, I'm very classic and very Southern oriented. Burgess, the Burgess Jockey, the owner of the hotel and restaurant, he has a very varied background, ranging from Indian to Chinese and French and a bunch of other things. So, but he is an Indian man, so he definitely brings that type of spice profile to the plate. We are at 3600 Piedmont Road, Atlanta, Georgia, 30305.
Chef, did you attend culinary school?
No, I did not.
Why did you become a chef?
Well, that actually kind of happened by accident when I was younger. I dropped out of high school, played guitar in bands, and kind of wanted to go live that lifestyle. And I needed to do something to make money, and getting kitchen work was very easy to do. And back then, jobs were readily available, and there was a lot of big employee pool, so to speak. So you could go to a lot of different types of restaurants and get a job rather quickly. And I was at the time I was just doing that to make ends meet, because I left home at a young age, and real stubborn kid, wanted to do it all myself. So somewhere along the line, I met a few professionals that influenced me heavily, and go in a bit more of a professional direction and learn more about classical cooking. And specifically when I was at Outback Steakhouse as a teenager, their corporate chef taught me a lot about the mother sauces and all sorts of things like that, and kind of perked my interest a little bit. So that's when I decided to leave the corporate chain atmosphere and start working in smaller, more artisanal, chef-driven concepts. And I never really looked back from there, 21 odd years later.
Who was your inspiration?
Okay, so the guy, I guess not to name any names, but his initials rhyme with Ephraim Cutler. He was and still is, to my knowledge, the corporate executive chef for Outback Steakhouse International.
Fill in the blank. Cooking is
life.
What's important, taste or food presentation?
Both. They definitely say that you eat with your eyes first, you smell with your nose first. Food is very multi-sensory, and but at the end of the day, it has to taste good. There's a reason we all like our grandmother's, cornbread and roasted chicken or something like that. It was slapped on a plate, but that didn't make it any less delicious. But as chefs, I think that it's our job to give people something on a plate that they may not be able to do at home, or don't have time, or don't have the patience to do. And I think that when people come out to give you their hard-earned money, I think that you should give them something that's a bit surreal, if you can.
Is there a particular food item you eat that is embarrassing?
Embarrassing? No, I'm pretty wide open. I suppose I'm culinarily out of the closet.
Chef, are you?
I mean, there's chefs I deeply respect out there that are, brining and brining and deep frying crickets and earthworms and all sorts of stuff like that. So at the end of the day, they're sharing it on social media. There's nothing I should be ashamed to eat behind closed doors.
Are you a breast or a legs man?
Oh, legs taste better.
What type of music do you enjoy listening to when you're not working?
I mean, honestly, everything from Led Zeppelin to Leonard Skinner to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden.
What is your management style like?
Cooking, serving, hospitality. It's an act of love, and it's hard to do something. It's hard to perform an act of love if you're angry. So whether it's a relationship or your career or anything else, I think that, rolling with the punches and just kind of trying to enjoy your day and be positive in the moment's a lot more important. So I try to exude that more now than I did in the past. I'm an empathetic leader, but I don't like to be viewed as a weak one. So one of my former chefs would and still would say firm but fair.
What do you enjoy doing when you're not working?
Well, I like to stay active. I believe that in this business, it's very important to keep up with yourself mentally, physically, all that kind of stuff. So I stay very active. I lift weights. I hit the bag. I've got a double end bag. I like boxing drills and stuff like that.
What is your take on plant-based food?
I think plant-based food is cool. I think that I think that a lot of it is rooted in scientific things that are really neato. I think that a lot of it's not for me. I don't necessarily see the point in a fake bleeding burger, like a Ruby beet burger or something like that. I just make a good beet burger. Don't stop trying to mimic animal blood and all that kind of stuff. Just let these ingredients be what they are.
Do you think they'll try to make foie gras soon?
Of course they will. I'm sure somebody already is. I mean, they're doing fake. I just haven't seen it yet. As a matter of fact, when we're done, I'm going to Google fake foie gras, and I'm going to find something. I know I am.
Jeff, what does playing with yourself mean to you?
At home cooking, R&D, making ice cream, maybe baking some bread, feeding a starter, making pasta and freezing it or something for a later date, or just I do a lot of cooking at home, and I play a lot of guitar. So every time I get some like alone time at the house, I'm like, ooh, I get to turn the amp on now.
Do you have any kitchen nightmares?
Kitchen nightmares? Not really. Honestly, because I got into this at a young age, I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of really insane things. I've been through some kind of crazy experiences that you don't really hardly ever go through, and if you do, it might be just a handful of times in a career. I've had to throw away an entire walk-in for the most part, like 70%, and then somehow call every store in the region and get it restocked in time for dinner service.
Any sweet, delicious dreams about food?
Well, I've actually been dreaming of foie gras lately because I purchased a lobe from the restaurant and brought it home for R&D, of course, like I was going into. So I've definitely had my mind on foie gras a lot lately. Been making a lot of gelatos and ice creams at home lately. So, I guess I guess you could say I've been dreaming of strawberries lately. We have some beautiful local strawberries going on right now. So I've actually been making some stuff at home with them. So I guess you could say I've been thinking about those.
What were one of the things that you were thinking with the foie gras?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was going to make some torchons just to make them and dry them out, and then I was going to freeze them and just kind of pull them as needed. I was going to make foie gras gelato. and I was thinking about maybe just searing some and having some with dinner at the house, you know, and just kind of doing it old school, you know, just a little bit of seasoned and seared foie gras with a little, you know, with a little compote and some toast and some cheese or something like that, you know. So
Are your friends spoiled when they come over for dinner?
typically, yeah. Typically, yes. When it comes to having friends over for dinner, I'm a hard act to follow.
Do you leave behind any pots, pans, or dishes for them to do?
It depends. I'll offer to clean up always. You know, I grew up in a kitchen. If you make a mess, you clean up the mess. If you're at someone else's house, if I cook the dinner, do I feel like they should clean up? Yes, of course I do. But I will offer to help. Because that's just the way I'm made, I guess. So I'll always offer. But if someone offers to clean up after I made them dinner, I'm not going to say no.
Chef Meacham, this is
Yes,
an
sir.
off-the-wall question. Do you consider yourself a lunatic?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh God. You know, I haven't I haven't met anyone. Sorry, my voice is huge. If it sounds like I'm screaming, I apologize. I'm an enthusiastic speaker. So I think that a lot of people like me, but I think I'm to be taken in small doses.